Welcome everyone. Today we have a new guest in our channel, Guy Heretz, who is a well-known seller and has an agency that provides services for sellers. He's an expert in many topics, and today there are a couple of topics with actions that we hope that you can take in your Amazon business today. Welcome, Guy. Can you let everyone watching know a little about yourself and your background?
Sure, of course. So thank you for having me, first of all, Tomar. Glad to be here. Always glad to speak to any audience and share my experience and my tips. So hopefully this will be also helpful for everybody. So yes, my journey started back in 2015 with just, as everybody starts with a course and starting your own private label um, brand. I must say my first meeting with brand on Amazon and private label was is not that successful, and I lost, I think, on my first round with my first product around 30K dollars, and yeah, it was hurtful. I think this is the moment where 99% of, we can, let's say, 95% of the sellers are not coming back from this kind of punches.
Yeah.
But it already gave me the taste of the model and the potential. And I did like a comeback, took a loan and also from my family, and did a comeback with my wife that was then my partner. And the second round on Amazon was much more successful. I had office supplies and arts and crafts brand, and it was really cool. And then until 2018, something like that, when the Chinese came very aggressively into the US market, and the fight for the margins started to be decreasing more and more. And in the end, my products weren't that efficient and successful. So I needed to think next, what next should I do? And this is, by the way, the game that we play here. You need to invent yourself every time on Amazon to be dynamic, to adjust yourself to what's happening. And this is what I did all the time. And also being an entrepreneur, you spot a potential business that you can do, and you just jump on it. And this is what happened to me in 2008 when I started to think about being a service provider. So something that started really step by step, slowly with my partner Pavel, giving some advices and coaching and PPC management for a friend or two, became slowly, gradually to a very big business, and just word to mouth. We didn't really did something on the marketing, but we just did a great job. And then we decided to establish RPGECOM, which is today is the biggest Amazon service provider in Israel agency, also certified by Amazon with the SPN and everything. And this is our main focus today, with 25 workers giving A to Z solutions to sellers. And as I mentioned before, and the evolution brings new things. So now we are also an investment company, a school where we teach from zero to from A to Z, also how to do Amazon. And when you look in it, you do everything. We do everything which is connected to Amazon today.
Yeah, it seems that you do everything, and that's really something that respect to you guys, because I know how it's it takes a lot of focus to do one or two things. So to do all of those things together, it's well done for you. As far as I see that the writing is in Hebrew, and you mentioned is the biggest agency in Israel. Do you guys only operate in Israel as far as your agent services, or you also have clients?
No, actually, 2/3 of our clients and workers are from abroad. So it's just the headquarters here in Israel. So we are serving also very strongly the Russian-speaking community. As we know, all of the partners are also Russian-speaking speakers, and of course now we slowly but slowly getting into the North American. And especially the Jewish community in Brooklyn, in New Jersey, where there's a lot of sellers out there.
Yes.
And they're and also successful. So it's
yes.
and
So,
from all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually came from New Jersey, so I moved to Florida 8 months ago, and I was always seeing the guys from Brooklyn, from New Jersey. Yes, like you said, very successful. Many of them moving here too to Florida, so you see a lot of commercial spaces, a lot of wholesalers. They do a lot of wholesale model there, and they move here, so there is no a lot of spaces left. But yeah, like very nice. Just 1 second. Okay. So what type of sellers you think should really outsource and give away their PPC management? Like, do you think it's good for everyone, or from your experience dealing with customers, who is the typical type of people come to you?
Okay, this is I can split it to I can split it to three, but let's start from two, because the first one are those sellers that are trying to cope with everything, to do everything by themselves. This is the biggest percentage, because you learn, basic PPC from the different courses, and they think it's enough. And when they jump into the water, they start to do it by themselves. But I think the scope of understanding of the real methods and logics and theory behind PPC is really lacking in any course that there is today. And when they come across the first difficulties in the PPC, they're struggling with connecting the dots, why it's happening, why my PPC is not converting, the relation to the conversion in the list, to your branding, to your imaging.
Yeah.
Everything is connected. It's just a huge puzzle. And when they come to us, they usually don't understand this puzzle. So we are trying to do, this is our first thing. We're trying to explain them and analyze everything, their account and then the listings. And when they you start, like I always say, 99% of the people that come to us and say we have a problem with the PPC, we say you don't have a problem with the PPC. It's the problem with your product, with your conversion rate, with the imaging, with everything, but not PPC. PPC is just the outcome of everything. So this is the one group of the people that are struggling, that they come to us and they discover a whole world of other things that connected to PPC. The second one are those that are just want to outsource, do what you do best, outsource the rest. This is the motto. But and I really appreciate these kind of people because they see it as an investment. I would give the reins to those who know what they're doing the best, and in the future I will probably save much more time and efforts and money, and whereas if I will do it by myself and will kind of learn my own mistakes and pay a lot of money for this. So, but this is a small percentage actually of the entrepreneurs that are coming. And those, the third one, if I just need to say a sentence about them, is the busy ones that are really, just take everything. Here I have the sum, I have the investments, I have the money, and they give us the reins to do everything.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And also, one thing that people sometimes overlook or don't really think that way is that when you outsource this and you are not really expert, or you are too busy, it will actually make you more money. It's not about the saving, it will actually make you more money. So you always need to look at, okay, maybe you pay an agency $5,000 or $4,000 or $3,000 a month to manage it, and it seems a lot, but you have to look at the bottom line. You have to look on, okay, what you can get out of this. And that's something people sometimes don't see. I myself can tell you that I'm coming from a background of PPC. I do PPC off Amazon for last 10 years, mainly with Google AdWords. It's pretty similar to Amazon. It's per keyword. It's based on its search intent. And Amazon is not just search intent, of course, but it's very similar. And at one point, I really, try to discover maybe the people out there, agencies or programs or any other solutions, could do better job than I and make more money. And I did really try it, like 2 agencies and 2 softwares, and the results wasn't better than mine. So this is something that I'm strong and good at. So this is something that I definitely, for me, worth keeping, and outsource some other things that I'm not that great at. Uh,
A word about softwares. If you mentioned them, the problem is that the most of the softwares are aiming to your ACOS targets, and then you just put your targets, and all the system trying to adjust itself to the targets, and they're not taking into consideration the entire puzzle that I just mentioned.
exactly.
And that's why I think that the human touch is a must here in doing PPC. We are also using, technology and tools and different things, but it's always semi-automated. It's there's always human beings in the process, and
For
it must
sure.
be.
For sure. I agree with you. With that 100%. It's not something. I mean, you have though. I tried Perpetua, which is I think one of the advanced out there. But they also tell you that it's not just the machine learning. It's also you need to really look at the data numbers and guide the system. But for me, it didn't work. Uh,
Nothing will really help you if you're not having a good conversion and product. I always say to the
yes.
clients, bring $1 million for PPC expenses per day. It will not help you if if your conversion is 5%.
100% agree with that because and everything become much more easier if you have a good product and good converting listing. So
Yeah.
I definitely think the focus, like 80% of your focus should be on the product, then the 20% could be on PPC, just driving the traffic, making sure that you have enough
Yeah, this
eyes.
is the foundation. This is the foundation of any skyscraper, right? Or a building. It starts with the product and it ends with the product. And if you have a good product, but you don't have the money to launch it, it's a different other story.
Yeah.
But sometimes it happens a lot. People coming with great products, but they're not coming with the suitable budgets for it. And this is a different discussion we can have.
Yes, enough resources. Yeah, I know it happened to me, and I know that it happens to many other people. So sometimes doing less, it's better. Sometimes it's that I see people at the beginning. Let's start with 3 products. Telling them, wait, slow down. Just start with one. See how it works. Once you have enough money and capital, and you also see success, scale it. But at the beginning,
And
just
most
start small.
importantly, you also learn. Not only when you see the success, you learn in the process. You understand the model, you understand how to work with Amazon. This is priceless, much more than having a good, bingo with the first product.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I agree with that, and you everything you just do, for your first time, so you'll make mistakes. So it's better to, do mistake. I like to go after cheap items at the beginning. So if in case you do the mistakes, the learning curve will be on something that you didn't
Exactly.
invest a
This
lot.
is this is also one of the things that I'm saying to people with no budgets. Bring a pin that costs 20
Yeah.
cents from China. That's it. Just launch it, just to see how it works,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and then do it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yes, we think the same, so it's good. All right. So part of my preparation for this video, I saw an interview that you had where you did talk about like Amazon Live. Personally, this is something that I heard from friends, colleagues, and you hear it out there. But when I try to get into Amazon Live, I had some obstacles, like you need like a Mac or iPhone, or you need some type of technology. They don't really open it for everyone. So the obstacles were too much for me at that time. Was focusing on some other things, and it didn't really work out for me. What do you think about Amazon Live? I know it was a couple of months ago. Do you think it's
Yeah.
worth entering, exploring, worth the investment? How you can get into it the most easiest way?
First of all, it's important to understand the concept of videos on Amazon in 2021. I think Amazon is really oriented towards video right now, also by releasing the video ads features on PPC, bringing the videos instead of the seventh picture, and it will develop into also a video in the EBC next thing. And it's just a very I think understandable move of Amazon. So the next step was really Amazon Live, and it started really slowly by them. It's was kind of their shopping channel in the beginning, but when this evolutions of video happened slowly on Amazon, also sellers came across more of this platform and started to use it. I think my first encountering with this platform was in the last Christmas, and not this one, sorry, last year's Christmas. And
2018.
Yes. No, 2020. I
2020.
mean, not the last Christmas, the previous one. So we try to do several tests, and I think the obstacles you mentioned are not that really high. Like the barrier is not that really high. Yes, you need to have an iOS phone device, which is iPhone, and this is the only thing that you need to be prepared with. But then you don't really have any investments. It doesn't cost any money. And this is the great thing about Amazon Live. It's a free traffic. It's free program. It's free of fees. And yes, you need to think about the presenter, who will be speaking, who will be presenting your product. But this is also very doable. So what started in the beginning with the private labelers themselves trying to do, and I also did it. Like, it was funny, but I tried to do it with with my Israeli accent from home, and it's not really bad. And I think it's most important to be there, out there, instead
Yes,
of
yes.
having perfect language. So this is for those who are limited in their resources and they need to do it by themselves. It's not really impossible. You can put 30 minutes of your day and trying to do it just to learn it yourself. But if you have some resources, you can do it with a VA, like we do in the Philippines. And the Filipinos are really good English speakers, but you can also find other workers on Upwork, or I don't know, people who are living in the States.
Freelancers.
This is the best. Yeah, this is the best solution. But we are using the Philippines, and it's great. So it's all matter of for your return on your investment. If you're paying for a VA, I don't know, for $300, $400 per month for 2 hours per day to do Amazon Live, and you see the results, you can understand if it's worth it or not. This is a simple, business.
You can track the
Um,
sales through Amazon Live. You see it like the attribution there, or
Yeah, so the idea is once you have the iPhone, you just download the app. It's called Amazon Live Creator,
okay.
and it's really easy. If you use someone else, you just need to send them an invitation to your Seller Central. Once he accepts the invitation, that's it. You will have the login info to go into the creator. You don't really need even to give him any permissions. And when they log in, they see the brand registry, the registered brands. Okay, so this is the second obstacle. You need to have a brand registry, and they can choose the brand, and then they go into the creator, and it's kind of like a YouTube, channel. You have the creator behind the scenes where you upload and edit everything. So it's very similar. You can put the thumbnail. And the good thing is, yes, after you end your live, you have 14 days when the data is trying to is accumulating, and after 14 days, the V is just doing a data entry in the Excel, and the clicks, the
Wow.
sales, the sell through, how the average time watching of the people. So it's really great. You can add some coupons there. Every time you go live, you can add a coupon and say, guys, you have 5 minutes with me on this video. You have a 20% right now. If you are watching me, just click add to cart. And you can do a lot of call to actions. And also you have a follow button, so you can create a channel of yourself.
It's
And every
followers.
time, yeah, the followers, every time you have somebody is following you, the next time you go live, they will receive a notification, which is great. And you can build an audience there. And we know how difficult it is to build an audience on Amazon, because Amazon is not releasing any data. So this is a kind of other way to do that. And being the first time we did it was really crazy. Like, we did an extra 50K for like 3 months during the
Wow.
Q4, November, December, and January, something like that. Extra 50K. This
Wow.
was really, really cool just from that platform.
Amazing.
But I need to say it works better for those who have several products in their line. If you have a standalone product, you don't have the option to do cross-selling, which is why it worked really great for us, because we had like 10 products in the same brand. And when you go live, there is like a small carousel
Okay.
beneath it, and the people can jump from one product to your other product, and you can also highlight the specific product that you are speaking of right now. But then you have the cross selling, and then also an upselling. You're speaking about a product that costs $20, but then they jump in and see that you have it in red, and it costs $5 more. So
Yeah.
unintentionally you do an upsell. So it then was the mark for us to do it more professionally. And then we started to buy some accessories and send it to the freelancers, like a selfie ring with the lights and some mics,
Professional
and
gear.
the different accessories for doing videos. You know better than me. And you have this thing that rotates 360 degrees the product. So you have different things
Round
that you
table.
can add, and it brings more liveliness to the lives, and more features. And of course you need in the end someone good to do the job, right, to present. It's not just speaking about the product. You start from that, this is the
Yeah.
basic. Just give the knowledge, give the information, but in the end you need someone who knows how to sell in the end. So I think there's a lot of potential there, and the traffic is free. It's an extra one, and everybody needs to do the calculations for themselves. It's a good
Try
investment
it
to have
out.
had
Yeah,
that.
like trying and judge by the results. Yeah, I agree
Yeah,
with
you
that.
will never know if you won't try it.
Yes, yes, for sure. After your explanation here, it's something that I'll move the needle and just, even though I don't have Android, I'll just buy an iPhone just, to test it out and see the
Yeah, that's
results.
what we did. We bought an iPhone and sent it to her, and it cost $600 more, yes, but in the end, if it's worth it, it's worth it.
Yeah. Now you can pre-record the video, or it actually needs to be live.
So in the beginning, you were able to do recordings as well, but then Amazon kind of saw, okay, this is not really live, right? Because you can
Yeah.
prepare everything you want on the recording. So they banned it, and now it's only lives.
Only
You
live.
need to do a real live. Yes, there is some hacks that studios are doing, like big studios that are providing this service. But in the end, if you're
Against your will.
on your own, you should do it just as a live. And also, great tip: don't do a long live. It should be really short, like going live for 3 to 5 minutes. It's okay. Just speak about 1, 2 features. Okay, that's it. You end it. Do another one. Do another live.
Couple of
Another five
sessions.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of sessions, because in the end we know it's correct everywhere. People are not patient, and they want to, if they jump and stop when you're live, you need to be very precise with what you want to deliver them, the marketing messages. So you can't really start to speak about the ingredients of your
Yeah.
product and
Yeah.
how it works and everything. Just be short, give a gist.
Great tips. Great tips. Thank you for that, Guy. Yeah, like if it's one thing that, I'll take from this video, it's just to try it out. I was neglecting this, but it's something that I should really test and see the results and judge by that.
Yeah, and another reason for you to test it quickly, because in the end it will not be free. We know today that any
It will
feature
not be.
that Amazon releases is as a free. In the end, they start to collect money on it. Like the
Of
Vine program, it was the ERP that was free, and now they just disappeared, the early reviewer program, trying to
Yeah. Yeah.
starting soon. Yeah, so I guess my guess, it's once it become really um, saturated, maybe then Amazon will try to take some money for this.
Yes, yes. Now, I do have another question related like to success on Amazon. I know that, from your experience with your school and coaching people, what is the really difference between those that make it and successful on Amazon to those that are not and are failing? You mentioned that most of the people, maybe 95%, after they fail with their first product, they just go and don't trust it anymore and don't really think that they can make money and live. And I actually failed with the first product as well. So I didn't lose 30K. I lost like 5 or 6,000. But it was a lot for me. And to pull the trigger and do a second product was really like risky for me. And but I'm curious from your experience to know, what do you see in those that actually move on and don't let the failure let them like, you know, whether to continue on Amazon selling or not, you know?
Yeah, so the first wave of online courses in 2015 and 16 was all about, 2 hours per day, working on your laptop from the beach, making money, passive income. Everybody can do it. You don't need to know English. You don't need to have any analytical thinking and abilities. And this is what boomed really the industry of, courses. But then the platform changed so much. There is no place for similar courses or agendas on 2020 or 2021 already. And so, first of all, those people who are judgmental are already that can judge for themselves what they're seeing is good or not, or if it's worth it, the value for their money for the training. It's already a one plus, big plus for them. Not believing it's easy job or it's not a real business or you can do it for an hour or two. I have no enough hours per day to do Amazon really. And you understand it only when you really dive into this business. So this is the first thing, that understanding this is a real business, and you need to invest in it, not only money, your mindset, your spirit, your everything, and learn, because you need to adjust yourself every time. So this is the first thing. The second thing is really the financial preparation for this journey. Um, in my times, it was enough really to have 3K, 5K to start a business. I'm not saying you cannot do it today as well. You can, but it's just, there is not left a lot of niches that are potential. So all the entire world is watching the same, X-ray on Helium, Jungle Scout, the same softwares. Everybody sees the same potential, the same products, and everybody goes for it. And this period time of between you saw something potential to actual, the launch time on Amazon, in between you can have a lot of the influx of other sellers trying to launch this. So you need to be really, I think today the better success is the high level products, the more pricey ones. First of all, because also the competition is less there. And because of what I just said, right? Because everybody trying to bring, cheap products in the beginning. Yep. And you don't really have a lot of good cheap products right now. So if you have the funds to go for, $15, manufacturing price, I say $15, $20. This is where you start to give you a little bit more potential to succeed, maybe because the competition is less. Yes, the launching will be much more pricey and everything will be much more pricey, but it's like that, right? If you invest more, the risk is bigger, but you also can win bigger. So today, if somebody asks me how much money I really need to get into Amazon, and this is what we do also in the agency, is around $35,000. 35, yes. And I would explain also why, because yes, you can do it for less, you can do it for more. This is something from experience, because we really sit on a database. We have like dozens of clients, doing different niches and products, and we see how much they invested, how much they're doing today, how much is their expenses, and how much the PPC cost and everything. And you understand it's not a game of bringing a first 500, products and then some launching expenses, and that's it. The idea is one, we call it the snowball effect. Once you start on Amazon, you need to be ready for your second order, and even sometimes for your third order, right? Because if you are trying to bring in as less as possible, right? Because you want to test the market as we were taught by the courses. So 300 or 500, it's not really enough, especially today when we have that all the logistics problems, the headaches from China, the traffic jams in the ports of the US ports, and also the chaos inside with the UPS and FedEx and everything. It's really a crazy world right now with the logistics. So you can't really afford to yourself to launch with all your efforts the 500, and after a month you need to reorder again, and you don't have the money for this, right? Because why? You put it in the PPC, you put it for the giveaways, for the reimbursements, for everything. So you need to bring in and just have this pocket ready. And that's why we always calculate for the clients that are coming to us to do the getting into Amazon together with us. We are telling them to be ready for the second and third reordering. And also, if you want to save money, on air freight, so you need to do it by sea. This is the leading time stretches much more, so you don't really have a time to do it.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest, I think, problem with sellers. They're not understanding these critical things, and when they launch their product, they start to have great results, but then they go out of stock, and the second round comes after several months, and it's not the same game. And then they need to do either everything from scratch and invest the same money, and that's why you need also to have backup of money. And it's also really, the market changes. Something can happen. New sellers coming in, the bids are changing, and the ranking and the organic positions, you need to re-win it again. So that's why we say you need to have much more money than you think in the beginning. So those that understand that are giving better chances for themselves to do that. And the last thing, the third thing, I can go and move on with many factors, but these are the mains. The ones that are really taking the things to their hands, right? To their people that are really jumping in the water, even though they know they're not capable of swimming yet. So this is everything that connects to a mindset, a business entrepreneurial mindset, learning, going to conferences, paying money for knowledge. This is something that people are so afraid of. Oh, this consultant is taking $500 per hour. Well, maybe it's worth it, maybe it doesn't worth it, right? But you will not know if you will not pay. So I know mentors and gurus that take money and one or two tips from them can change worlds, especially if you're a beginner, and it will worth it in the end. And this is something I did. I've invested a lot of money in learning and studying and going abroad to China, to Canton Fair, and moving, around China looking for supplies. I really went down on everything and tried to do it by myself, because I understood you need to be a part of your business. And people that are capable to do it are not that much, right? Because they're usually starting this business simultaneously to a different work they have. And it's not, I'm not saying it's easy, but in the end, if you really want to make it a real serious business for yourself, you need to start to do the shift, between, as you also said, that in one point you just started to do it full time, because you understand the business needs you. And it's never ends there, right? Because you're ever having a brand. Okay, so once you are a bestseller on Amazon, which is pretty tough on its own, but what's next? Okay, you can go outside of Amazon, you can do your own website, you can do wholesale, you can do so much things. There is no limitation to a private label.
You can launch more products, you can grow, like you said.
Yeah,
you have so many
and many things to learn, like marketing and online market. You are coming from Google PPC, which is great, yes. But when I started also to learn some graphic design on Canva, some copywriting, some advertising, online digital advertising. So there's so many things. So those people that understand that and are capable of to be a little bit autodidacts and also learn and invest in themselves, because they are the captains of their own ship. And if they're not investing in them, in themselves, the ship will not really move forward. So this is, I think, the crucial three things.
Yeah, very, very great tips. I agree with most of them. The only thing I think that, you know, I mean, you're right. You need like this money, like 35. I think it's more on the higher end, but it leaves you room, like you said, to reorder or maybe launch more variations, and it gives you like room for mistakes. But to be honest, I think that you could go with and succeed with much less. It will require you to be everything really right on the dot and be very efficient with everything. But yeah, those that have that amount of
Yes,
money and
I
budget,
agree. That's why I said you can do it with less,
yeah,
but then you will be much more stressful.
must
And
yeah,
every bump in the wind will be maybe crucial.
yeah,
And that's why I said it's really not just out of my mind. It's something that based on
based
what
on
I
data.
see with my clients and the people that are coming in. And it's all good when it's good, right? When but when you start to struggle in between in the process, you need the money and the funds and the flexibility to get out of the situation. And if you don't have the funds, you probably will not succeed
Yeah,
moving forward.
and that's really annoying. Knowing that, let's say, for example, you have really successful products, but you don't have enough stock, and you know already that when you come back to stock, the results will not be the same. So,
And
um,
it's also not everything is also up to you, right?
yep,
Tomorrow, Amazon can delete half of your reviews. It happened to me and to my partners. On
yeah,
the other day, some competitor, can bring in some bad reviews one after another, and then you need to really struggle with raising your average. It can be a vendor or somebody that changes your picture within your images within the seller central, and I saw everything. It's really a battle. I call it like a battle zone of 2021, and
yeah,
I always
you're a
say it's
veteran.
like,
Back then, you had
yes.
so many problems.
Yes, but it just, more problems are coming in, new problems, new hacks, new black hacks. And that's why I also say you don't really need to be a bestseller in every product, right? Because when you're in the top,
Yeah,
you're just
having all these eyes. Yeah,
too shiny, and everybody started to watching you and trying to do that. I had my first product was Bluetooth headphones, and when I tried to target the Bluetooth headphones, main keywords, I had these bots from competitors doing, spending all of my budget with a lot of clicks in just few seconds, and all my budget was just finished. So there's different things, and this is something you cannot really be ready for. So
yeah.
that's what I say. Bring reserve.
For sure, for sure. I actually struggle now with black hat techniques like a Chinese seller doing on my European listings. So basically, and Amazon don't even explain this. I don't expect them to explain how they did it. But for some reason, my competitor got as a variation into my listing, changed the brand name, manufacturer name, and took over the rights for the listing like it's their own listing. And no matter what I try to explain Amazon, they just don't understand. I'm the brand owner. This is my listing. After
Yeah.
it took me like a month and a half. Only now it's being resolved. But like you said, you can't really be prepared for that. It's like every day you will encounter new things. And I think the way that you should handle this, just understand it's part of the game and it's out of your control. You can't change the fact that it happened. You only can look forward. Okay, what I do now and what is my plan? And sometimes people get to a point where they had something like that, an attack or something bad happen, and they just don't know how to cope with that, and they, let the stress, control them. So I think it will happen to you. It happened to many people, and it's just part of business. Whether that's a black hack attack, whether it's problems with supply chain, it's just things that happen, and you have to. I see it also that people that know how to deal with the stress and cope with that, they really are those that are successful. But I know you're busy. Thank you so much for your time, Guy. It was a really great interview. I learned a lot. I'm sure many of the viewers would learn as well, and hopefully take some actions like the Amazon Live and some of the tips that you gave and implement them in their business. And I really think that it's all about actions. What kind of seeds you plant every day and what you do every day as far as actions will determine the results that you have.
Yeah, definitely.
For one last thing, this is something that I steal from Carlos Alvarez, if you know, but so credit for him for that. But if you have to choose one book to recommend to Amazon sellers and entrepreneurs to read, which one it will be?
Oh, Jesus, I don't have time for books. You just tackled me. Um, I would say something related to finance, and I will explain why. And this is because this was the first thing I struggled with. In the end, it's a business. It's a business of numbers, right? You can be the greatest branding expert, and it can be really cool in bringing great products, but in the end, if you cannot calculate how much you earn, how much you return on your investment, doing the excels, doing the different things, and yes, there are some software that can help you, but in the end, you are the one that knows your numbers the best. And if you don't understand numbers, it will be much difficult for you to move on. And I must admit, I was not really good in numbers in the beginning, and I decided to just take actions, as you said, and just start. So it can be a book, it can be a course on Udemy, it can be anything, a consultant that helps you, a business consultant. But in the end, it's really important to understand numbers, financing, and some calculations, basic math and things like that, so you can really in the end see numbers, and hopefully positive numbers.
Yeah, great tip. I'm also operating like that. Like, I think being on top of your numbers, it's something that so many people neglect, and then they're surprised, oh, what happened? But if you're on top of your numbers, you can spot issues and also grow your business much faster. So yeah, thank you for this tip. For those that want to learn more about you and contact you, how they can find more about you guys.
Well, you can just Google RPGECOM or RPGECOM.com /en for those who are from abroad, but also RPGECOM is just fine. You will come across our Facebook pages and groups. You will come across our website, our YouTube channel, and it's nowadays it's really easy to find someone if you really want. So I'm welcoming everybody.
Great. Do you have a Facebook community?
We do have in actually 3 languages. It's Amazon FBA Private Label Secrets for those that are. It's an international on English group, yes. But if you want a much more direct connection to us, just come into our website, drop us an email, and we will be in touch.
Yes, guys, check them out. They are professionals. And thank you again, Guy. It was really a pleasure. I hope we can have another call in the future. And
Sure.
thank you again for being a guest here.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Thank you.